lifestyle. Now, here are your hosts, Chardell Moore and Christina Denny.
Jewish families all over the area are gearing up for Passover next week.
That's right. And Linda Hurwitz from the Associated Jewish Community Federation of Baltimore is here to show us some delicious foods to help celebrate the holiday. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
So for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about Passover.
Passover is a celebratory opportunity for Jews to celebrate being free after being in slavery for many generations. It allows everyone to relive the exodus from Egypt.
And there are certain foods that are eaten during Passover. Tell us. You brought us some examples.
Yes, I brought you some samples. This is the focal point of every Seder. Seder means order.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, the Seder means order. And there we read the Haggadah. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. No problem. We'll set them right here.
And in the Haggadah, although they're very different styles and many different interpretations, it's always in this, it's retelling the story.
Nice.
Always telling a story in the same order. But what's so fun and what's so special is each family has different traditions and different games and stories that they infuse in this order.
But the Seder plate, this is at every Seder, am I correct?
Every
let's
Seder.
talk about what's on here.
Okay, so the Seder plates can look very different, but in each one there's 6 bowls where there are various foods that symbolize things that happened during our slavery and freedom. And so we have, for example, this is called Hurwitz, and this is made of apples and nuts. It's delicious.
It looks yummy.
It's and everyone makes it a little different. Some people put raisins and spices, but regardless, it's to remind us of the mortar when we were slaves building for the Egyptians. This was the mortar that we put in between the bricks. And then we have the karpas. With our family, it can be anything green. We use parsley, and it's to remind us that this is the springtime, but yet we dip it in salt water because we must remember the tears of when we were slaves. Do you want to taste?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And of course, there's the matzah. So,
Of course.
Classic. Passover is 8 days, and those who observe Passover religiously only eat food that do not have the opportunity to rise. So there's no wheat, barley, oats, or spelt.
Why is that?
I believe it's because with those ingredients, it can rise, and we had to leave when we were slaves in a hurry. In fact, when we sit at our Seder table, we sit with pillows to recline, which symbolizes that we're free men and women now, and we have the freedom to take our time and eat this feast. And it is a feast. I will have to share with you.
I have been to a Seder dinner. I can attest for that.
Very often the Seder itself lasts 4 to 6 hours, but the food itself, there are course after course after course. In our family, we start with an egg that is chopped up with salt water, again to symbolize the tears. But the egg is birth and rebirth. And what's beautiful about the Seder is it's intergenerational. So we have the youngest asking the 4 questions.
What are the 4 questions? We have a little bit of time left. But.
Okay, the 4 questions are things that we do differently during Passover. Why do we recline? Why do we eat bitter herbs? Why do we eat matzah? And the children ask these questions so that the rest of the Seder is used to respond to these questions, and in a fun way. In the middle, we have 3 matzahs, and in the very middle matzah, we break it in half, and that becomes the afikomen. And the leader of the Seder...
This is actually what we hide, and then you can find it and win money.
Exactly.
We're actually out of time, but I want to thank you so much. We've learned so much here about Seder and about Passover.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for having us.
We really appreciate you.